Hey guys, welcome! Today I'm sharing my vegan ceviche recipe and I couldn't be happier about it. We're now in spring and the weather is only going to get warmer going into summer, and what better thing to enjoy on a hot day than a heaping bowl or tostada of vegan ceviche. It's fresh, colorful, juicy from the freshly squeezed lime juice, and very healthy on its own. My mouth is watering and yours will too when you try this recipe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Alright, if you're interested, let's begin. Look at all these veggies. Starting from the bottom, you're gonna need 1 cauliflower, and yes, there are 2 here, but that's only because I was testing out a Chinese cauliflower, which is the one on the right hand side. You could kind of tell the difference between the two because the florets on the Chinese cauliflower are more separated and the stem is longer, I thought. But for this recipe, I do recommend that you use the one on the left. I ended up getting more from it than I did from the Chinese cauliflower. It's also easier to find in most grocery stores. Also, you're gonna need tomatoes, cilantro, carrots, a white or red onion. I actually ended up using half of each one, and a cucumber and serrano peppers, and of course, limes. You're gonna need lots of limes. For our vegan ceviche, we're going to replace the fish or shrimp that is traditionally used with cauliflower. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, the texture is actually pretty similar, and all we need to do is get this raw cauliflower from its hard, crunchy state to soften. So we're going to do that by blanching it in really hot water. So the first thing we're going to do is fill a large pot with water. I did add a little bit of salt to speed up the process. And right before it boils, you want to turn down the flame and add your whole cauliflower in there and just let it hang out for about 5 minutes. If the water didn't completely cover the cauliflower, you can flip it after 3 minutes like I did, so each side could soften. So be very careful not to overcook it. You do not want it to boil either, just blanch it. You just want it to tenderize. And then you want to place it in a bowl, and if you'd like, you can run it under cold water to stop the cooking process and just set aside. Once the cauliflower has cooled, you're going to slice into it, and as you can see, I'm cutting thin slices and it kind of starts to crumble on its own. I also used my knife to make smaller pieces just like this. I kind of chopped it in a way. Do this to the entire cauliflower. Actually, I should mention only the florets, not the stems, because the stems have a different texture, so you want to eat those or toss them. I actually ate mine. And what you want to do when all of your florets look like this and they've been chopped nicely is place them in a large bowl. I did season them with salt. Then I added the freshly squeezed lime juice. I'm lucky enough to have an actual lime tree in my backyard, so it's awesome. It always comes in handy. So yeah, just make sure that most of the cauliflower is covered in the lime juice, and then cover it and place it in your fridge and let it marinate for at least 40 minutes. I did go in every 20 minutes and stirred with my wooden spoon just to ensure that all of the cauliflower got to sit in the lime juice. And this is key to veganizing ceviche because traditionally the fish is cooked in the lime juice. Speaking of, I have a secret ingredient to flavor this vegan ceviche with that distinct fishy taste. But first, let's move on to the other veggies. As you can see, I have chopped all of the veggies into little pieces, and they are all about the same size. That way you can taste a little bit of everything in each bite. Also, feel free to adjust the veggies. If you'd like, you can add more of your favorites. For example, cucumber. If you're really into cucumber, you can chop way more cucumber than I did. I will have my measurements in the description box below, just in case you're interested. Alright guys, seaweed is my secret ingredient to veganizing ceviche. It's going to amaze you. I love eating it on its own as it is because it's delicious and crunchy, and sometimes I eat it in place of regular chips when I'm trying to be healthy, but really, not really, because I love it anyways. It's so amazing because it is more nutrient dense than land vegetables, and I know a lot of people hate it, but I love it because I've always liked that fishy taste and smell. I'm vegan now, but if you haven't tried it, I think this is a perfect time. You will find them in your Asian aisle at most markets. I like to buy these large packs at my Asian supermarket because they're cheaper there, and this is what they look like on the inside. They are thin green sheets. And for this recipe, you want to crush them. So I did place a few sheets in a food processor and pulsed until they look something like this. To 2.5 hours have passed, the cauliflower is nicely marinated. Now it's time to combine all the other chopped veggies into this large bowl with the cauliflower. And I'm gonna first start with the white onion, followed by the red onion for added color. And because raw red onions are actually the healthiest of onions because they're packed with the most vitamins and minerals and other nutrients. So that's really cool. Also in goes the cucumber, the tomatoes, the carrots, and this is optional, the serrano peppers if you want your ceviche to be spicy. If not, you could leave it out. Also, I'm adding in the cilantro and mixing everything well, and if you'd like, you can actually remove most of the lime juice. I like to leave mine in there, but some people actually remove all of the lime juice since the cauliflower marinated in it already, but that's up to you. I left mine in there. And just look at this, it's so pretty, and really this whole bowl is full of nutritional benefits. It's low in fat and super healthy with all these vegetables. They're pretty much raw except for the cauliflower that was kind of cooked a little bit. Last but not least, mix in the seaweed. And okay guys, so I actually made the ceviche to share with my family. I split the ceviche into 2 bowls. This one right here has the seaweed in it and this bowl doesn't. I thought my family would actually prefer the one without the seaweed, but I was wrong. When it came down to it, they loved the one with the seaweed, so I ended up mixing seaweed into all the ceviche. And the reason why they liked it was because they said it felt like they were eating actual fish because of the taste and the smell that the seaweed gave it. And I just love watching my parents' reactions to veganized food. It makes cooking vegan really fun because of the similarities between the textures and the taste without the animal products. So it's just really cool. So if you can, add the seaweed. Both are delicious, but way better with the seaweed in it. And I like to serve my ceviche over tostadas with slices of avocado. And as always, I like to drizzle spicy salsa over my food. Or you can also just eat this in a bowl with tortilla chips. Or if you want to be really healthy, you can replace the chips with jicama slices. That sounds amazing. This is how I make my vegan ceviche. It's so pretty with all the colors from the veggies and super easy to make. Also really healthy and fresh and delicious. It's really perfect for a hot day, even a potluck to share with others, or just because. I really hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it and sharing it with you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss any of my upcoming veganized recipes. I post a recipe every single week. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next.